you know, just lifting the vibration back up. Also, y'all might need some Palo Santo too, so here you go. You know, just ain't nothing wrong with being extra cleansed. There ain't even a such thing. There is no such thing as being too clean. I don't care what nobody say. Hello, soul searchers, and welcome back to my channel, Falolu's Fortune, where we use tarot to gain better insight into ourselves and the world around us. So as you can see, new things are coming to the channel. What else is new, right? All I do is change up shit. So, yeah, we're gonna be doing our first ever deck review. And honestly, I ain't finna spend too much time. I think we all know what a deck review looks like. I will also still be doing readings and like the creative content that I'm creating with, also the creative content that I'm making with tarot. All of that's gonna continue. But I mean, I have all of these decks and I just feel like they need to be reviewed. So here we are. We're as much content as we can get out of the thing, we're gonna get, okay? So the structure of this video is gonna be a quick spiel with me talking about the deck itself, its personality, if you will. We're gonna go through a flip through, of course, talk a little bit about the guidebook, what I love about it, or what I am loving about it, what I may be a little off put by, the difficulty level that I think it is, and then we're gonna do a quick mini reading at the end to kind of gauge some information from the deck, you know, like who it feels like it's meant for, who would probably benefit from it most, and just, you know, chill with the tarot. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely keep watching. There will be timestamps in the description box just because I know I can be a bit of a rambler. You may only want to see the flip through, and there's a timestamp down there for you. All right. Let's see, where do I want to start? So let's start, first of all, with the deck that I'm actually talking about because I have not told y'all that yet. Today we are actually starting with none other than the Native American Tarot. It's very beautiful. This is what it looks like. This is the Native American Tarot created by Magda Weck Gonzalez and illustrated by J.A. Gonzalez. I have not had this for very long. I've had this maybe 3 weeks, maybe. But ever since I've opened it and bonded with it, it's kind of had me in a chokehold, obviously in a good way. I'm definitely learning a lot. It seems like a really good resource. I feel like I'm learning a lot about Native American culture, and that's really what I wanted. That was really the purpose of me buying a Native American tarot deck. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I had one. I don't even want to say the name of it. Y'all know that I had another tarot deck that was supposed to be focused on Native American culture, but it was so disrespectful the way that they just didn't put time into it. It was very dark, and so even with the limited knowledge that I have about Native American culture, I knew that that wasn't it. So I finally recently got rid of it because I was gonna try and like paint over it and make it work, and I just was like, no, fuck this. So yeah, I have this one and I am so happy that I just went ahead and made that switch. Difficulty level, I would say, what would I say the difficulty level is? It's, you'll see when we do the flip through. I would give it a solid 4.5 on a scale of 1 to 5, based off of like the Rider-Waite-Smith Coleman tarot. I would give it a solid 4.5. A lot of so the suits are all different. There's no cups, wands, pentacles, swords. That's not the hardest part though, but a lot of the majors are even renamed. They do have like the numbers so that you still kind of know what's what, but it's not like if the numbers weren't there, it would be super difficult. So I guess I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. Also, and I'll like go through examples of this, all of the cards have keywords, but it's not immediately obvious to me anyway why certain keywords are associated with certain cards. And again, as we're going through the flip through, I'll show you examples of this. But I definitely wouldn't say it's a beginner's deck. Maybe if you already know quite a bit about Native American culture, I'm kind of having to like rewire what I think I know while reading with this tarot deck. So that's beautiful. There were a few snippets at the beginning. It's a very educational, like very clear, very wise, and very educational deck. Again, I do feel like I would need to supplement some of my knowledge that I'm getting from here, but I love it. So let me just, first of all, I haven't even showed y'all the guidebook. So it did come in a little tuck box. Y'all saw that, right? So this is the guidebook, you guys. Look at how thick this is. Hold on, let me go get the Rider-Waite Smith, because I don't know if you can tell just by looking at this how thick this actually is. This is the Rider-Waite Smith guidebook. You can't even like, hopefully y'all can tell. Let me go by the pages. It's 34 pages. And then this is the Native American Tarot guidebook. And it is, I'm not going to include the notes pages. It is 105 pages. It is a little smaller. So this is the Rider-Waite Smith guidebook. This is the Native American Tarot. It is a little bit smaller, but still there's significantly more information in the Native American Tarot guidebook. So I've been coming to this a lot. I'm not gonna lie, pretty much every time I pull a card or get a spread, I'm looking to the guidebook. Because it's like I see it, but I end up learning different layers specifically of Native American culture with this guidebook. There was a part when I was just flipping through to get these cards organized that I kind of came across, and I feel like it really I feel like it really exemplifies the tone of the deck. So I'm going to read this part just so you can kind of get a feel for how in-depth this really goes. People may wonder why we have not used the word squaw in our deck. Squaw is a bastardization of the Iroquois word for male genitalia. When the white explorers first met the Iroquois, they asked where they could find women. Not being understood, the explorers pointed to their genitalia. The braves told them the word for penis, which the explorers mistook to mean woman. This mistake has persisted ever since. We feel the use of the term squaw would be an affront to all women, and we have chosen not to use it. Native American matriarchs are older women respected for their skills and wisdom. Chiefs are not considered rulers. Rather, they are wise and respected men who have earned their title and its responsibilities. Warriors are young men still proving themselves. Maidens are young women, married or single, who must also prove their worth. Just from that alone, you could see the level of knowledge in this deck. Like, I love it so much. And another thing that's very different about this deck, this is like the last thing before I get into the flip through, I think. Right? We talked about the deck personality in the guidebook. Yeah, okay. So last thing before we get into the flip through. The court cards are organized differently. So, you know, in most tarot decks, you have the queen and then the king. In this tarot deck, the matriarch is actually I'm not going to say it's the highest in the court, but it is placed after the chief. Like the way the king comes after the queen in regular tarot, the matriarch comes after the chief. Or actually, the way it's organized, it goes from the highest to the lowest. So you start at the matriarch, and then you go to the ace of whatever suit. So it's matriarch, chief, warrior, and maiden. And as you as I just read from that little spiel, it's not even so much about hierarchy. It's like everybody has their place. But I do kind of love, like, just for a visual standpoint, that they put the matriarch as what we would consider the highest in the court, the tribe, whatever you want to call it. It's a beautiful deck. Anyway, let me stop fangirling. Let's just go ahead and get into this flip through. All right, so as I said, let's just go ahead and get into this flip through. So of course we're starting with the majors. Suit of Blades, which is traditionally known as of Swords. Also known as the Suit of Wands. vessels, which is traditionally known as cups. lastly, the suit of shields, which is traditionally known as pentacles. Absolutely beautiful deck. I just hopefully you guys can see. You either need to have a passion for like Native American culture, a passion for learning, possibly a passion for both. It's just, I feel like I've learned so much already and it's only been a few weeks. And this does pull from different Native American tribes. Like, I don't think it's just focused on any particular one, because I've seen mention of Apache, like Geronimo, I believe, was where I saw mention of Apache. And then there was, you know, the message about the Iroquois at the beginning. It's an absolutely beautiful deck, but I think I fangirled over it a lot. So the last thing I want to do is a mini tarot reading. So I only have 2 questions for the deck, and then I'll probably read the 2 cards together for a final message, or we'll just get some advice. We'll see how this goes. Alrighty. I know usually, let me zoom out a little bit. Usually I call on our spiritual teams, but I really just want to hear from the deck, because that's what this is about. So Native American Tarot, thank you so much for all of your guidance, wisdom, love, and support. For this collective, can you please tell us what type of energy do you think would benefit from having you most? That was kind of 2 trying to come out. The Hermit. Makes sense. So the Hermit, I said that too. I just said that this deck would probably be good for anyone who wants to learn about Native American culture or who just likes learning. And the Hermit does learn, but in very different ways. The Hermit goes inside himself, sheds a light on his own darkness. He's very introspective, which is why he's the loner usually. I do want to read the guidebook, and I feel like that's right on par with what I've been saying this whole video. But I feel like this is an animal back here, and usually the hermit isn't depicted with an animal. I can't tell if that is an animal or not, but I think it is. And so it's giving me this vibe of like looking at the world around him, because usually also the hermit is looking down and this guy is not. So there is this sense of like looking at the world around you and gaining information from that as well. So if that's already you, like if you watch movies and end up getting insights about yourself, this might be a good deck for you to use. If you're like already aware that everyone that you encounter is trying to tell you something, not in the sense that like they're right. So like if, for example, if you have a bully, it's not that your bully is right to bully you, but it's like you understand that everything is trying to teach you something. It's a lesson, even if it's a lesson in like taking up for yourself. I just saw 2121 on the camera. If it's a lesson about speaking up for yourself, if it's a lesson in not accepting other people's projections, it's like you understand, or I'm not going to say you, but the energy that would benefit from having this deck is an energy that understands that everything is a mirror of sorts. Everything is a teacher. Even the hard stuff. Even the good stuff. Like all of it is valid, and all of it is here to teach you something or to be used in some sort of way. I feel like that's the sort of energy that would really benefit. I feel like that's what the deck is saying, but I do want to read the guidebook. So let's go ahead and read the guidebook for the hermit. See if anything else comes up. The hermit is depicted as a mountain man, a phenomenon of the last century. Whatever his background, he chose a hard life in the American wilderness. The mountain man explored the lands up to and beyond the Rocky Mountains, discovering the trails eventually used by pioneer wagons. These adventurous misfits faced harsh weather, cruel terrain, and hostility. And though some took wives from various tribes, most lived in self-imposed exile and isolation. They ran, hid, and crawled away from death many times. Some eventually settled into the Native American way with whole hearts. Marrying into a tribe provided increased safety and improved trading, as well as homely comforts. The hermit has the appearance of one who has lived in both cultures. He wears a white man's belly gun, uses a rifle decorated in the style of the red man as a walking stick, and holds a lighted lantern in his left hand. The burro that follows closely behind, laden with his paraphernalia, has the slit-eyed look of being only half broken. The clear blue sky accents the white-on-white of a snow-covered mountain winter. This card symbolized the Father, wisdom and fertility in its most exalted sense. Here is the entire mystery of life in its most secret way. That's beautiful. So, the guidebook just talked a lot about basically integrating two sides, or live. In this case, he said it's the appearance of one who has lived in both cultures. What I'm getting is an integration of two different sides, whatever that means for you. There's something about like having been the victim and the villain that's kind of coming through with that as well. Take it as it resonates, but it's just, again, whoever you are, you're very much so into spirituality. You love learning about yourself, digging into your layers. You love meditating or introspecting, journaling. Even if you don't like any of that, you probably have just like very deep insights. Even if you're just like washing dishes, you're probably having deep insights about life and about yourself, about that person who pissed you off today. That's the energy that would be very suited for this deck, according to the Native American Tarot. Alrighty, and then the last question that I wrote. Native American Tarot, what do you wish to tell us at this time? What do you wish to tell us at this time? Wow, bro. Bro, do y'all remember during the flip through I said if I see this card I'm gonna make a wish. Make a wish. It's the wish card. Why is it blurry? Please don't be blurry. I don't need you blurry. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Make a clear wish. 2555 on the camera. All right, so what else do we need to know with the 9 of vessels here? Oh, 9s. There's 2 9s. Hold on, let me zoom. 2 9s here. Y'all already know. I do feel like something's trying to be completed. Something's coming to an end. Because 9 is very close to the end of a cycle. Okay, I feel like I'm going to read the guidebook for this one as well, but let me just tell you what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling. I feel like this collective, this group of people still watching this video have probably dealt with a lot of projection, a lot of people blaming or accusing you, or it may not have even had to be that harsh, but it's just like people see you and they assume that they know you. Because I'm noticing all these people in the back who are just sitting and watching and possibly judging or something like that. And the Native American Tarot basically wants to say that I wasn't going to say it this way, but it's what's coming through. That's none of your concern. Because you see this person here who I feel like is the main character. They're not focused on these people back here. As a matter of fact, their back is completely turned. They can't even see them. And so there's really this sense of like, yeah, people have done that. And that's on them. Because you're not just the main character in your own life at that point. At that point, you're becoming the main character in other people's lives as well. Which, whether they're judging, like whether they're being more negative towards you, or whether they absolutely adore you, either way, it's kind of an honor. It's also some pressure, I guess, but it's kind of an honor that they're putting you on a pedestal of sorts when they could do the very same thing for themselves. But again, none of that is your concern. You know who you are. And thank God your blessings aren't coming from these people. Look at this hand that's like sprinkling blessings or something. That's the way I'm seeing it. It's like it's sprinkling blessings and favor upon this person. This hand, the person who owns this hand is not even in the image. So it's giving me the vibe that like this is spirit, your spiritual team, God, your higher self, whoever it is that you call on. And this is them bestowing blessings upon you. Your blessings don't come from other people, so it doesn't really matter what other people think, what they're projecting. There is something about having boundaries, because the scarf that's on this person's head is yellow, which is calling me to the solar plexus, which is all about having boundaries, having your own sense of self-esteem, self-power, self-worth, knowing who you are. And definitely boundaries. So there is a sense of like knowing who you are and not allowing other people's projections to affect you. Ultimately, it'll be much easier to do that when you stop concerning yourself with how other people feel or how they may feel. That's none of your concern. I'm hearing Janae Aiko. I think that's the name of the song. None of your concern. None of your concern anymore. So let me go ahead and read this from the guidebook. It's so weird when it looks straight to me in person. It looks crooked on camera. Let me just fix that again. And this is the 9 of Vessels. Okay, so it says, Native Americans had no explanation for the phenomenon of menstruation. so they incorporated it into everyday life with trickster myths and legends. These not only explain the why of menstrual periods, but also spelled out proper behavior for young women. Puberty ceremonies began in the days or weeks following menarche. Okay. Puberty ceremonies began in the days or weeks following menarche. During this special and dangerous time, the girl's future depended on the performance of certain duties and rituals. Customs varied from tribe to tribe, but one or more of the following basic elements were usually included. The pubescent girl was isolated. She was schooled in the ways of womanhood, and there was a joyful celebration of the maiden's change of status from girl to woman. This last was a private family affair or a public rite celebrated by the entire village. The wish card shows a maid kneeling on a robe, wearing a traditional ceremonial puberty dress. Cattail pollen, a holy substance, is showered as a blessing on the celebrant by a well-wisher. 3 trees are tied together in symbolic protection over the participants. This was and is a celebration and a wish and hope for a long and happy life. Sympathetic magic is used to ward off famine and evil spirits from the young girl and the entire tribe. The 9 of Vessels represents the wish and the fulfillment of that wish for the future well-being of all. It is the awakening of new emotions and a new outlook on life and means success. So with this, I'm also getting a message that what you may feel as being like judgment or projection, it could just be you. You know, like, unless somebody has actually said to you like that they're judging you or they think you're this or they think you're that, you really don't know what people are thinking. And I feel like that just goes back to what I saw at first, which is that's none of your concern. You could run yourself in circles. You could run your anxiety and paranoia through the roof, trying to figure out what other people may or may not be thinking. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because your blessings aren't coming from people. So, yeah. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Maiden of Pipes, who traditionally would be known as the Page of Wands. It's interesting that the Wish card, the 9 of Vessels, actually talks about a maiden, and then we have the Maiden of Pipes on the bottom. Maidens are usually a younger energy, even if they're not actually young, like by age. It's just a sense of having like the same wonder or curiosity of someone who is younger, of a child, basically. And so I do feel like there is some sort of new beginning on the horizon somewhere. Right now it's talking a lot about endings with these 9s showing up, but then we have this young energy, this fresh energy, and so there's something, maybe it's not even entirely new, and maybe that's why the ones aren't showing up. It's like maybe something that we've been working on for a while or moving toward for a while, and finally the energy is, I don't even want to say the energy, it's like the time is right, the energy is aligned for it to come through, but it's not necessarily a new thing. But it does bring about this new kind of energy where maybe we can live the life we've been wanting to live. Page of Wands does usually have to do with like lifestyle changes, daily changes, looking at our way of doing things and maybe doing it differently, doing it better, making it work for the current situation instead of being so stagnant. It can also talk about like a new vision, a new passion, a new way of wanting to go about things. It's just very fresh energy, and so it's like looking at things with new eyes. And I think that's what I'm picking up on. It's like even if I feel like whatever blessing is coming or is basically here, it's not new necessarily. You've been working toward it for a while, and finally you see it. Finally you see it happening. Finally you can see life even before the blessings come. Finally you can see life for what it is and get it to work for you. Something about seeing things with new eyes is really important with that Maiden of Pipes on the bottom. This is beautiful. I love this deck so much. You guys let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it. Do you have it? Are you interested in getting it? It is such a beautiful deck, and I've learned a lot. Even just in the course of this video, like the cards that we've had to read. Yeah, I've learned things. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am so excited to continue this series with you all. Let me know what deck you would like to see next. But until next time, I will see you later, Soul Searchers.